Hey guys, what is up?
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Swole-Mates podcast with Joe
And Alyssa.
And today is episode 5.
Episode 5. Yeah.
Now, we wanted to shout out we're not sponsored, but
it's so good.
Honestly, shout out BBA.
Big Baller Ant.
Big Baller Ant putting us on the Alani dial. We wanted to be dialed.
I would just like to say that I've always been on the dial, but Joe just barely got on it. So.
I got on the dial because Ant put me on the dial. Like, if Ant's doing it, I got to do it.
Facts, though.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, let's.
Okay, we're gonna crack these open.
Ant, I don't think I've had this flavor yet, bro. So
that one's actually really good. I really love that one.
It's watermelon wave, and Ant's always on some wavy shit. So
yeah.
Sure. Damn, you cracked without me.
You were just chit-chatting.
Cheers, fool.
Ready? What's the first? Yep.
Wow.
Do you want to try the mimosa one?
Yeah, switch me. That one's warm, though.
It's still good warm.
I do like my 3Ds, though. That's because I get them free at the gym.
Yeah.
But
I know about all that.
Shout out Ant, though. Ant's really cool. Would you guys want to see Ant on a podcast?
I feel like that'd be really fun.
Yeah, like I was talking to him the other day at the Anaka office, and we were just having like a full conversation. He's so cool.
I love him. He told me
he was
chill.
he was like, I don't think anybody could ever have like beef with me because like I just be on some wavy shit all the time.
Literally, I'm like, how can you not like vibe with him?
Honestly, most supportive person that we know for sure. Like just love Ant.
His fits though, are always fire. I'm like, damn.
Ant
I need to start like dressing better.
Ant inspired me to get like cooler shoes. I literally only own Blazers and Converse. I'm not dialed with Blazers and Converse.
I'm not dialed with shoes, except for the Air Force ones you got me. Like literally, I wear those to work, and everyone compliments them all the time.
Because those are fire.
They are fire.
See, I'd be taking care of baby girl before I take care of myself.
I know. We need to get you some.
Use some of that OnlyFans money. Shit,
I
that's
will.
what I'm saying, honey. Some of that 10K coming that way.
All right, guys. So today we are going to talk about taking risks in relationships and in business.
It's a risk dating you.
I mean, yeah. It's always a risk dating Latina, I feel like.
Honestly.
We'd be crazy.
So like anytime something happens, I could just be like, she's a Latina, that's why.
Yeah.
But you can't use that as an excuse to be crazy.
I'm not like I feel like I'm not as crazy as I used to be. Snappy attitude, yeah. But like
you just be feisty, like just for no reason.
At least I'm not toxic though, because there's some toxic.
Okay,
Latinas
true.
out
You're not a toxic Latina. You're not like crazy. Okay. What do we call crazy? What do we call crazy? Define crazy for me in your standards. What if a okay? So it's not really like because like male Latinas don't really wait. Hang on.
Male Latinos.
Let me clarify.
Okay.
Male Latinos.
That's
it's not like the same thing. Like it's Latinas, but what's the crazy male version? It's just them white boys or what?
I'm so confused.
Okay, so like you know how it's like, oh, she's Latina, she's crazy. Like you get that automatic like stamp on your like dating passport there.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, so I saw on TikTok, but I'm not sure how true this is.
Nothing
but
is
like
true on TikTok.
Arab men, I heard were like equivalent.
Arab?
Is that how you say it?
Arab?
Oh.
Arab? It's not Arab, not Arab. Arab.
I don't know. Okay, I can't speak English. Everybody knows this. I suck. Anyways.
You can't speak Spanish either. No hablo español. Senor.
Anyways, I heard that they're equivalent to like being toxic.
They're the crazy ones?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, toxic or crazy?
Toxic and crazy.
Toxic.
Like, okay, so I saw the trend on TikTok and it was just like, if you know, you know. But like,
okay, honestly, Alyssa be coming to me all the time and just being like, is this true? And I'll be like, what? No, that's not true. And she'd be like, I saw it on TikTok. Nothing you see on, I swear, her For You page is just filled with like girls just going off about like, what was the one that you asked me the other day?
I don't remember. Oh, I know which one. Wait, are you talking about the one I sent you on like a TikTok I DM'd you?
I don't know. I didn't ever check my DMs that you sent me.
Wow. Red flag.
She just straight up like looks at, this might be TMI. You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
This might be TMI. But she just straight up like looks at me and she just goes, do guys get boners when they poop?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the
I remember
fuck?
I saw that and I was like, yo.
No. And she was like, don't lie to me. And I was like, what the fuck? No. That's weird. I don't know anybody. That doesn't happen to me personally. I've never heard of that happening.
I don't know.
That's weird.
So do you think it was risky dating a Latina?
You were
I was your first one, huh?
First Latina like I seriously talked to. I'd hooked up with a couple.
He's spicy mommies.
But okay, but honestly, I kind of had like a bad rap because the Latinas that I did hook up with were
they were
not good in bed. But it was just not it.
Uh-huh.
It's just not it. So like you're definitely different. But I mean, we talked about this before. Like you weren't my type, but I was like, shit, let me try something new.
Okay. I feel like, I don't know if it's like this for like every couple, or maybe we're just like really just like open. But do you feel like we took a risk in just like airing everything out? Like our past?
Okay, so honestly, I think it's kind of interesting. Like, you know, obviously I didn't get into the relationship or like start, because like we opened up about everything before we were even dating. So like I didn't meet you and then be like, I'm gonna tell this girl my whole life story and everything about me, and then see if she like trusts me after that. It was just kind of like it came so like
natural.
It just came so naturally. Like I think it was something that I never really had before with like another girl, where everything was just so smooth. Like there was no thinking about it, there was no questioning, there was no like sending risky texts or anything like that. Like,
did you just say tit?
No, I didn't.
Get your head out of the gutter.
But I'm saying like I didn't have to do like anything risky because, like I said, that first night that we met, put your hand on my leg and I was like,
right,
she means business.
I said, no games.
And like you making the first move helped a lot because I was just like, okay, cool. Like I just felt so much more comfortable. But like I don't think like I didn't have to do like any like risky stuff. Like that's why like when I asked you to shower with me for the first time, like I wasn't like, oh, like I was literally just like, it didn't even cross my mind. But also I'm just kind of dumb too. So like, and you knew that too. You knew that too.
I mean, I was just like,
I did. Okay, you want to? I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I did one time. With a girl I was taking her out. A girl that I talked to, I took her out to dinner, and she was like, I don't know how it happened, but she was like planning to stay at my place or something like that, and I was like, I fucking dumbass, but I was like, okay, I'll like go like pick up. I like went to the store and I like bought her like shampoo and like body wash and like literally put it in my bathroom. And then she didn't even end up staying there.
Oh my gosh.
It was, she did end up staying there, but I don't think we showered.
Oh, okay.
So, and then it was like weird and I was like, well, fuck. Like it was literally brand new. So then I just put it underneath my sink. And then another girl, like a couple months later.
Oh, that's a red flag.
Yeah. Well, so like another girl later, like a couple months later, was like staying the night or something like that, and I was like, oh, like, do you want to like shower or whatever? Again, I guess this is something that I did. I didn't even think about it. I was just like trying to be nice, because like how weird is it when you're like sitting there all like gross and sweaty, and then you're just like, I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna shower, and then like if they're planning to stay there, because that girl was they like came over and they were partying, so she was drunk and she was like planning to stay the night, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go shower. Like I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, I'm going to shower and you can just like stay. I don't know. That's just so awkward. Like, I don't know. Like, do people do that? Because like, that's fucking weird. Yeah. To me, that's weird. Like, I'm like, when I think about it this way, I'm just like, okay, if someone's staying over, it doesn't make even like, yeah, like we're talking about hookups, but like, even if like I had a friend come over, like I would always offer, like I would be the first one to be like, hey, do you want to like, if you need to use any of our stuff, like like if I'm making breakfast in the morning, hey, like I'm making breakfast, do you want anything? Like, so to me, it was just kind of the same thing. Like just good hospitality habits, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, so she was there and I was like, do you want to like shower? And she was like, no, like I don't want to use like guy shampoo or something like that. And I like run into my bathroom. I'm like, oh look, I have this.
She goes, oh, actually I have to go home.
That was I think that was probably the most awkward hookup that I had. I told you this one.
Yeah. See, so this is what I feel like is very like interesting about a relationship, is that like with other relationships that I've had, I've never like gone into details as much as we have with our relationship. Because I remember like our thing, like our date nights we would build Legos. And then we would literally just talk about anything. Like I remember we would just ask each other random questions. And I'm like, oh, so what was like your worst like Tinder date? And you would literally tell me.
Were you asking those questions to be like trying to like get an insight into me?
No, I
Or
feel
were you
like
just asking them to
they
make
just like
conversation?
came out, yeah.
Because like whenever I asked you questions, I usually just asked them to like make conversation.
Yeah.
But like, and we would just, because usually like I'd ask them something and then you'd ask me the same thing and I'd be like, okay. And I don't think that there's anything that I didn't ever tell you, or like, I don't think that, and I mean, obviously by now, like, you know, everything,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, people, you know, names, you know,
Yeah.
like every person I've slept with,
Literally.
and
And it's not because I'm like, you better tell me right now, but it's just because like he's like open
Joe's a
enough.
talker.
He's open enough to tell me like all this stuff.
I'm like, oh yeah, so and you know this one, and she's like, no, who? And I'm like, oh here, let me show you.
And I'm
Show
like-
her pictures, and I'm like, yeah, horrible, horrible in bed. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I think doing that just made things like really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, I don't think like, so I mean, like, you know people and you know names and everything like that, but I don't think that that I recall, like, I mean, I know
For
some of the
me,
people
it's
that you hooked up
different
with.
because like I never like hooked up with anyone in high school.
You what's your little thingy called?
What?
Reuse, recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay. But because like I never slept with anyone in high school except for like my ex.
Yeah.
So like everyone, even if I were to like tell you the people, you wouldn't know. Also because there's like a age gap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, you just met more people like out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the people that I think that I hooked up with were people that
Or, like,
I
in your
knew,
circle,
or like
yeah.
they were people kind of like either that I knew or I'd been talking to, or we'd hung out a couple times, like things like that. I think that there was maybe like one or two people that I hooked up with like straight from Tinder, and God, horrible experiences. So that
Yeah,
never
I
happened
feel like
again.
Tinder's definitely not the place to meet someone.
Do you remember when that like was it I think we were maybe like a week or two into talking, and you were like staying over at my place or something like that, and the Tinder notification went off on my phone.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
was like,
Tinder
oh.
notification went off, and I was just like, I forgot that I had it.
And I just like backed up. I said, oh, okay.
She was like, still have your Tinder? And I was like,
no,
honestly,
I didn't say anything. I was just like, mind my
no,
business.
but I think it went off a second time or something like that. And I think that you said something, and I was like, no, like I don't use it like seriously. And you were just like, and you were like suspicious about it, but like then we just literally just moved on.
I remember that.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, no, I think that definitely helped. But like, so like that first time, because someone asked us about this, like that first time I asked you to shower with me, like to me, to you, I'm sure that was like a huge risk. Like, what the fuck? Did you think that was a red flag?
No, I mean, I don't know.
And then I offered to make you pancakes.
I feel like
and you sat there and watched me eat.
another person asked me that, and I was just like, no. But then you asked me, so I was like, is this like a regular thing? Is this like what you do when like you're like talking to someone? I don't
Honestly,
know.
like, so hookup culture is weird because like
It really is.
both my roommates in college had girlfriends, so we didn't really have people that they hooked up with, or like we didn't really have like hookups or anything like that. And I mean, besides my two roommates that I had in college, and besides one of my other friends or ex friends at the time, I didn't have like anybody that like, I didn't have like a group of boys that like I hung out with. And like, so like the group of guys that I hung out with growing up in college, were like, I would say decent examples, except for, you know, one, but I'd say that they were like decent examples and stuff like that. So like, I didn't really like hook up with like people.
Yeah, I
You know what I
didn't
mean?
either because I like was in a long-term relationship. So like,
Yeah, because like, so you didn't have like
Yeah,
a girl
so,
gang
like-
that like went out and was like, let's
no,
go get
I
trash
did
and hook up.
after actually with my best friends and stuff. But they weren't like, oh, let's go get trash. Like they were just like, oh, let's just go have fun. And then I remember I was so scared to like start dating again that like they convinced me to make a Tinder, and I was just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Like this is just weird. But I feel like they definitely helped me like not like necessarily use Tinder for like hookups, but to like actually go on dates and like be social.
You want to know something embarrassing?
What? Have you told me this?
I don't know if I have. I'm about to expose myself here.
Okay. I'm ready.
But I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, I don't want the backlash. I mean, it doesn't matter now,
What?
but I'm just like, that's kind of like,
You hooked up on Tinder?
no, but I'm just, I paid for Tinder.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how you pay to see more of the people that like you?
Oh my gosh, that's a thing.
You can see, I know I just exposed myself, but like you can see, so like, okay, so like I was literally on Tinder all day long,
Okay,
all
wait.
the time.
So like
you
if
can
someone
swipe.
saw your profile, you could see who saw it.
So like,
but, like, didn't
they would
swipe on it?
filter like they'd filter certain ones, and I kept getting like just like unattractive girls like on my Tinder, and I was like, oh my god, like, ugh. And I was, and so like, and then it would just be like, you're out of like swipes or something like that, or like whatever for the day. And I was
would pay for more swipes?
No, not for more swipes, but
I'm so
like you could
confused.
see. I'm pretty sure it was Tinder, but you could like see who else like liked you and stuff like that, or like you know how you get notifications like so and so super liked you, but you can't see it.
Oh
and
my
shit
god,
like that.
you paid for that?
It's $3. And I was sitting with there was a girl in my car.
Never.
There was a girl in my car at the time, and I was like sitting there. One of my friends at the time, and we went to Sonic, and we were just like sitting there, and we were just like talking or whatever. And I was like, bro, this just went on sale. Should I just get it? She was like, fuck it. And I did. And I was like, oh, and like literally just like hundreds, but they were all just more unattractive people. I was like, God damn it.
I wasted $3. You could use it for McFlurry.
Because that's the thing is like because like, so whenever I would go was, I went somewhere at one point. Oh, I went to Colorado when I like 3-4 months after I was single. I went to Colorado to go see my sister, and I opened Tinder there, and I was like, oh my god! Like I was right next to, I think I was right next to Aspen, or like, well,
I was gonna say there's a lot of snow bunnies over there.
yeah. I was like going like that, and I was like, oh my gosh. Then I went back, and I was like messaging girls when I was down there in Colorado, and I was trying to meet up with some girl when I was out there in Colorado, but I didn't have a fucking car or anything like
Yeah,
that.
what
I was
do
a
you
hoe
do?
at that time, yeah. But and then I went back home, and I was like, and because it's like, I mean, you saw New Mexico Tinder. Anything special on there?
No.
Horrible.
Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
It was just not good. But because like if you think about it, so like even yourself, right? Being like, you know, a very attractive girl and someone that's like fresh out of a relationship or whatever, like, and like realistically, like unless you're a hoe, you're not really just hopping on Tinder.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just like you said that your friends convinced you to get a Tinder, then even then you're just like, nah. Right? So it's like, and like the people that I did end up connecting with on Tinder were usually people that like I knew some way, somehow, like, oh, you played soccer here or like something like that. And I would usually just end up like, I mean, you know, Taylor, right? Like, you know, my friend Taylor, like we met on Tinder.
I remember you saying that.
And then we went over and hung out, and then we were just like, oh, and we just ended up like catching up from like high school, and then we just literally became best friends. Like Taylor's still
I freaking love Taylor.
We love Taylor. Like Taylor's
She's
awesome.
so awesome.
But it's like it's funny because we met on Tinder. We were just like, yeah, this isn't. We're not
clicking,
vibing that
so
way.
we're just gonna be
So we literally just.
I mean,
out.
honestly, I feel like you can use Tinder to like make friends.
Yeah, I think you could. I think that. So I think that Tinder's not a bad way to like meet new people and like, but I think that there's this really bad stigma around like, okay, I got to use Tinder and like I got to hook up with people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then at the same time too, every girl that gets Tinder is like, oh, every guy's just trying to hook up with me, and every guy most of the time is like, I'm just trying to get a quick hookup, but it's like, dude, fucking Tinder hookups are horrible. Like, it's like it's so awkward. You're just like, okay, I never liked those like, let's just come over and fuck. That's horrible. Like, who wants to do that?
You.
No, like I didn't want to. Like I would want someone like, but it was with people I knew. I didn't want random ass people just coming over. Just hooking up with. Like that's so weird. And but like people do that. Like they'll meet someone on Tinder and they'll just go out to the bar and then just go take them home and hook up with them. I'm like, that's gross.
No judgment, whatever. That's your thing. That's your thing.
Not my thing, but
yeah.
But yeah, so
see, I feel like I don't know. I feel like us talking about this is like normal for us, but I feel like couples watching are like, are they seriously talking about Tinder like together? Like I don't know. I just feel like we're just so comfortable with like each other that it's just like don't really care.
Well, and also at the same time too, like, and we know this now. So anything that you did in your past, you could have done some like fucked up shit. I could have done some fucked up shit, but like it's in the past. It gets left in the past for a reason. So like when I tell you these stories and stuff like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, you did that. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember you said that like you were like.
I know one time you kind of were like,
back then.
Well, I know one time you were kind of like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah,
and
because
I was like,
I don't know. So like when you tell me
ago.
those stories, I don't believe them because it's totally different than like from who you are now.
Yeah.
Or like even from who you were when I like met you. sound like you did that. Like, I can't believe you did that. And
Which
you're like,
congratulations, by the way. You turned me, a hoe, into a housewife. I'd be doing the cleaning anyway.
I do
buying you
cleaning.
titties.
I do the cleaning too.
True, we do
Okay.
split cleaning.
Does anyone like that live with their significant other like split chores? Because we do.
So like, okay, the way that we do a relationship is like, I think most people don't do that.
Really?
So like, I mean, if you think about it, you moved in pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's a big step. But like for us, it was like, I was like, you are over here every night anyway. You might as well just bring clothes over here. And you weren't like, oh, moving in is a huge step. You were just like, okay. Are you sure?
Because I feel like if you make it into a big deal, then it becomes like more than what it is.
Well, and I mean, and with us, we got along so well. We were literally like so into each other, so in love that it was just kind of like whatever. Like, I mean, there's no hesitation.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, there was like no hesitation, which what I did to like going into the relationship is I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. Because in the past, like I'd get close to people or people would get too close. Like right after I'd broken up with my ex, there's a girl that I had gotten close to.
Oh, I remember you telling me this.
And she got like way too close, way too quick, and it freaked me out. And I was just like, but then after I was just like, I mean, would that have really been that bad? And I was just like, whatever. And so then, because being single is like, for me, it wasn't really something that I enjoyed. Like, it has like its fun times where you're like, you go out, you do whatever and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's pretty lonely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, no one to like go to the gym with, or it's like you go to the gym, but then it's like, it's weird. And it's like, it's weird because you just crave attention from different people, but then when realistically, you're just doing that to hide the fact that you want attention from one person.
Yeah.
And that one person doesn't want to give you attention. So you go elsewhere to get it. And then that one person's like, well, fuck you. Like, I wanted you to give me attention, but like, and now that you're not, like, it's just tangled webs, just like weaved and everything like that. So what I did when I met you is I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. And that's why it was like, when I asked you, 2 weeks in and my mom calls me, she's like, hey, we're going to Florida. Hey, we're in Florida. Like, I'll buy you a plane ticket, come down. And I'm like, can my girlfriend come? She's like, who?
That was also taking a risk too.
That was a huge risk. Did we ever tell this story?
Yeah, we did.
On the podcast?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember. But yeah, so yeah, like, I mean, when my mom called me and was like, yeah, we're in Florida, come down. And I was like, yeah, can Alyssa come? She was like,
2 weeks.
And for my mom to say that, like, my mom be strict. So I was like, fuck, like, seriously? And she was like, yeah, we just want you down here that bad. And I was like, okay, bet. So we went out. And then when I asked you, I was so nervous. I really didn't, I was going to try and convince you. I was like, I'm not going to go without you. And so, like, I'm really glad that you did kind of come. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, like, I was just like, I'm just going to go with the flow. And because I went with the flow, and I was just like, if it works, it works. Like, if we're getting close to each other, I'm not going to push away. I'm just going to take every day a step at a time. And when I did that, that just honestly helped the most.
Yeah. I feel like I definitely just like listen to like, and I don't know. Cause I feel like if you're like with someone and it's like meant to be, like things will just like unfold easily. But if like you're with someone and it's just like, not really, then there'll be like situations that like keep coming up. And for us, I was just like, I'm just going to let things play out, see how it goes. And I'm not going to overthink anything. I feel like that helps a lot.
The overthinking just overcomplicates everything. Even now still, like when you overthink a scenario, it gets overplayed way too much. Mm-hmm. I had someone that watches the podcast, who follows me, DM me, and was like, bro, like I need advice. Like this girl that I just started talking to, I don't remember the exact situation. He was like, this girl that I just started talking to, she goes to a different gym and she like works out with other people. And he was like, is that like normal? Like I don't want, like, he was like, do you and Alyssa always work out together? Do you guys like work out with other people and stuff like that? But shout out to you, bro. Like, my DMs are always open for both of us. I mean, I think if anyone, ever needs advice or anything like that, but I was just like, oh bro, like literally don't stress about it. Like, go do your thing. Let her do her thing. Like, you do your thing. You worked out with a friend today. Like I'll go work out with like people, you know what I mean? Like I train clients. Yeah. You'll go work out with, like, it's not, I don't think that it's like weird. I think that it, there's no reason to overthink it when it doesn't need to be like taken that far.
I feel like in relationships now, I feel like people always try to like have control of everything and everything that's going on. And then as soon as they don't, they overthink it and they think the worst of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it doesn't need to be like that. Like if you are talking to someone and you know that like they're invested in you and you guys are on like the same terms, then I feel like you can let them go do their thing and you do yours, and you both know that like nothing else is going to happen.
Yeah.
Then I feel like that's fine.
Now, the overthinking can also kind of stem from like past trauma that you kind of have, right? So
Yeah.
in your experience with...
Because I definitely used to be like that.
Well, yeah. So in your experience with having an ex-boyfriend who cheated on you multiple times, right? You said that you guys lived together and he would just go out and cheat on you for like years and like stuff like that. How was it being with me and being with someone that was like super open like that, with everything that I did? And like, how did you feel about that?
So I feel like at first I definitely was a type to like be controlling of the situation. So like when I remember this, like whenever, I don't know actually, because I feel like I kind of was skeptical when you really do things without me, but then I was just like, whatever, like.
Well, you didn't ever say anything to me when I did things without
that's what
you.
I'm saying. I don't really feel like I ended up like having like that control over, because I remember like I was at work and Taylor, you wanted to go eat with Taylor. And I was like, oh, okay, like I know Taylor, I met Taylor, like that's your friend, I'm fine, right? Like, and I feel like couples that are in relationships, like that's not normal for them.
Yeah, so like that, I mean, that whole situation was kind of weird. So like, Taylor had come back from, I think, vacation or something like that, and was like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, how are you and Alyssa and stuff like that? And I was like, dude, we're good. Like, we need to catch up. And she was like, yeah, let's go grab a bite to eat. And I was like, okay. And I think I told you, I was like, hey, babe, I'm going to go grab food with Taylor. And you're like, okay, that's fine, because you were at work. And I was like,
couldn't
okay, cool.
like, and
I was like, yeah, so we're going to like BJ's. And I went, and I think her car broke down, or her car wasn't working. She was like, can you just come pick me up? And I was like, yeah. And I know that I definitely felt weird about it. I was like, oh, like I'm in a relationship. Like this kind of feels weird. But I was like, whatever. Alyssa said she was cool with it, right? So like if she wasn't cool with it, I feel like she would have told me. Or like if she gets mad about it, I would just be like, but you told me it was cool. So I went based off the assumption that it was cool, right? Like, so, and then I was there and I saw one of your friends. So I walk into BJ's with Taylor. I see one of Alyssa's friends, and her friend just gives me the dirtiest look. And I'm like, I just walk in with it. And like, so I was wearing like jeans and just like, you know, just like a regular shirt, but like I always wore workout clothes. So I looked different than how anyone ever sees me. And that's because I was like, oh, we're going to BJ's. We're just going to go grab some drinks. And Taylor, I think had just gotten off work or something like that. So she was dressed like nicer too. So we walk in, and one of Alyssa's friends sees me and just gave me the dirtiest look. And I was like, oh my God, she probably thinks that I'm cheating on Alyssa. Because this was like fresh into our relationship. Yeah. And
were we dating, or were we just talking?
This was after Florida. So
we were just talking.
I think we may just be I think we may have just been talking.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there the whole time, and I was like, oh my God. And I was literally like shitting bricks, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, she texted me, and I was like, oh yeah, like I know he's there with, and I know who he's there with.
Yeah, but
and she's
then,
like, oh, okay, girl, just want to make sure.
Yeah, so she texted Alyssa and was like, yeah, and said that. But when I saw her, I immediately invited one of Taylor and I's mutual friends, Delana, who was in town too, and I was like, Delana, please, like, come meet us at BJ. She's like, oh, like I'm busy right now, and I was like, oh my, like I was like, I don't want this to look bad, like. Me and Taylor just chilling here, and I don't think I said anything to Taylor or whatever, and it was literally like we were there for like 30-45 minutes, and then we like left, and your friend at the time was just like giving me the dirtiest look, and I was like, oh. And I remember I went and took Taylor back home, and then I like drove back, and Taylor lived on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And I think I texted you, and I was like, hey babe, do you want anything from BJ's or anything like that? And I think I texted her because I was like, okay, let me see if her friend texted her and if she's like mad. And so, and I think you said something that I think you were like, yeah, can you grab me chicken Alfredo or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I think I went back and I grabbed it, but like the way she said it, she was just like, like chicken Alfredo and like no emojis or anything like that. And I was like, oh my God, she's fucking pissed. So then I go to her work and I brought that to you, and I went to go see you. And like, I think the reason I asked was because I was like, let me test the waters. Let me see if she's mad. And you didn't respond for the entire time I took Taylor back home, because like I was going to order it there. And so I went back and got it. And then I remember I went and came to see you, and I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh, I saw your friend. She was like, oh, I know, she texted me. And I was like, yeah, it probably looked so weird. And you were like, oh, but like, I mean, like I knew you were out. And I was like, I was so relieved, because I was shitting bricks. I kid you not. Like I was so freaked out. And so like, you were like really cool about that. But then I remember, I think this was around the same time, like, do you remember when you came back I think you came back home or something, got off work, and I was there and I had just shaved my legs in the shower and I had moved the shampoo and the body wash from one seat in the shower to the other so I could like shave so you could see like so I have the light on me. And she got in the shower. Wait, hang on.
Why. No. Before you even start talking, I'm so OCD about my things. And I don't know if it's like an older sibling thing or what, because I have brothers. But like, even when they would like touch my stuff or move my stuff, it would literally drive me crazy. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but like, I like my stuff the way it is. Like, even if you go in the bathroom, like, you'll see like I organize everything in like a certain way. And like, even like when like I move it, I'll like have to like fix it right away.
Yeah. So Alyssa's OCD. But anyway, we're in the shower and she's like, why is this stuff moved to the other side? And I didn't make a voice this time, so don't be like, I didn't say it like that. No, like, she was like, why is this stuff moved to the other side? But you had like suspicion in your voice. And like, why was this moved? Because we literally never moved it. And I was like, oh, I shaved my legs. And you just, I don't know if you said anything. You just gave me a look. And I was like, what? Like, you don't believe me? And she was just like, and was kind of just like giving me like a look. And I was just like,
I was getting mad.
And she was kind of like getting mad. And so then I like ran, I was like, get out of the shower. And I was like, look, I'll show you. And I grabbed the trash can with like all the little hair in it. And I was like, look, I shaved. She was like, okay. And I was like freaked out about it. But like, so, you know, from that past relationship, there were some things that kind of like would make you skeptical. But I think it was because, like you said, like your boyfriend would, or your ex-boyfriend would bring people over to you guys' apartment and do stuff there.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where it came from. You know what I mean? Because like with things like that. So, but yeah, not to go into detail or anything.
Yeah.
Like that, but
I mean, don't want to talk about the past, but
yeah, let's not talk.
Let's not expose people.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that you did have some kind of like bad experiences from.
No,
them.
I feel like anyone that like goes through that or gets cheated on definitely has like that uncertainty of like whether that person's fully invested in them. And whether or not to trust them. Because, I mean, obviously, when you're in a relationship and someone is cheating on you, you obviously don't know. And you put all your trust into that person. And when you find out, it's just like everything that they ever said or done to you was a lie.
Yeah. Now, okay, so because I think this is a good topic to talk about, like just cheating in general.
Yeah.
Now that we're kind of on this subject. So let's run through this really quick. What would be, because for any female viewers out there, right? Like, and not to get everyone freaked out and start getting suspicious of their boyfriends and the people they're talking to, right? But, you know, we were talking to some friends the other day about like cheating or like suspicious activity type of things. So in your opinion, because there's been some things that like I've done that in my head, I'm like, that's not suspicious at all. But you're like, nah, that's kind of sus, right? So in your opinion, what are kind of like a few red flags when it kind of comes to like, oh, this person's definitely like cheating or this or that?
For me,
like what are your red flags? Like if
scenario.
So let's just say that you know, a female, like what would a female have to do on her end to me for you to be like sus?
Like, what do you mean?
So like what would be like a red flag? So like for me, if a guy, so like let's just say that you meet some guy at the gym or whatever, or, you know, you guys, you know, it's maybe something that when you know or whatever, something like that. I would probably get suspicious or kind of be like a little bit frustrated if like you started ditching plans that maybe we had to go like work out with him or something like that. Or
that's definitely a red flag.
or if he came over when I'm not home.
Yeah.
Even if you told me, if a guy came over when I'm not home, I would not be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. No one should be okay with that. I feel like there should be like a respect thing. Like this is our house. And I feel like if you're bringing another person into it, whether you're friends or not, that's still like disrespectful.
Yeah. So like, and so I think that, you know, but even if we didn't live together, if another guy went to your apartment to like grab something or some like anything like that, I would definitely be sus about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the same time too, like a guy like, I mean, if he were like inside jokes, so like, let's just say that he posts an Instagram story and then like tags you and is like, ha ha ha, like, and like relates it to a joke that you guys have or something like that, that would make me kind of sus. You know what I mean?
I don't don't know.
Like,
I mean,
so
if
let's
it's a
say,
friendship, then I feel like, you know.
but here's the thing. Where's that friendship? Where's that line get crossed with a friendship?
I feel like the line gets crossed when like,
because like it's fine. Like I think making
if you're
jokes
like
is
flirting.
Well, yeah,
fun of
but
each
that's the
other.
thing. So like in my head, if there's this guy that's like a friend of more like a closer friend to you, like I know him or whatever, something like that. But then like let's just say he posts like a funny like TikTok on his story and tags you in it and goes, LOL, this is you. Right? I'd be like,
Well, it depends. If the TikTok is like inappropriate or if it's not inappropriate.
let's just say it's like again, like relating to like an inside joke, like maybe something that you talk to him about or something that it's just like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like I think I'd be sus about that. don't know if I'd like freak out and be like,
For
oh my
me,
God,
I feel like it just depends on like what the TikTok video is. Again, like if it's inappropriate, obviously, yeah, that's like a red flag. But if it's literally just like a dog or a cat, then like,
yeah, okay, well, I mean a dog and a cat, like that's but
that's
like
all
no,
it depends.
but that's what I'm saying. Like let's just say it is kind of riskier, and he says like this,
oh
like
yeah,
this is
obviously,
like you,
yeah,
LOL, this is
because
like
he's like
you.
putting it out there for everyone to see.
And then to be even more of a red flag if you reposted it and we're just like, OMG, that totally is me or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
That's
what
red
the
flag.
fuck going on here? Right? So that's definitely one. What about if, like a red flag for me too would be like if you say went out with like, your girlfriends or whatever, and then this guy shows up or something like that. Like even if you didn't invite him or something like that, I'd be like, homeboy overstepping his boundaries. You know what I mean? Like something like that. So like you go out with the girls to go get like sushi and this homie shows up or something like that. Or like,
I feel like it's a red flag if I don't inform you.
yeah,
Then that's when
like
you should be worried.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you're like, oh, hey, like so-and-so is going to come, right? Like, so like even today you're like, hey, so-and-so is going to come, out with us tonight. And you're like, do you care? And I'm like, no, I don't care. Right. And it's,
right.
But again, like you're not close with that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that's like, and I'm talking about just on a friend level. I'm talking about like, this is someone that you're not just some random guy. I'm talking about like, this is like someone that's like a friend of yours. Right. So like someone that like maybe you message because of like, you see each other at the gym or you work together, something like that. You know what I mean? So like for you, let's just say there's a girl that maybe like works at the gym or like maybe one of the other trainers at the gym or something like that. What would be one of those things that you're just like, so-and-so's crossing the line?
I feel like if she's obviously like being disrespectful and not like respecting me.
Yeah, but like define that so that other people like
if she's flirting with you in front of me, I feel like that's disrespectful.
Okay. And like what would you, cause like, and this is something that is so weird to like figure out, but like, what do you kind of see the difference between like flirting and being friendly? Right? Because like
being friendly, I feel okay. So like if obviously you guys are like joking around and she says a joke, like hitting you, I feel like is friendly, right? Like hitting you is friendly. But like if she like leaves her hand on you and she's like laughing, then that's flirting. Yeah.
So like if I'm like ha 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 and I like kind of
that's fine. Like that's like not
flirting.
But
if I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's flirting right there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What about in like a text? What about if like she shoots me a text or something like that, or any person, shoots me a text and like what emojis or something like that? Because so like for me, an emoji kind of like tells everything about that message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when you and I text and like maybe like I say something, like if I said haha and I didn't put an emoji, you'd be like, is he mad at me? We don't
really use emojis.
No,
though.
we use emojis all the time. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe it's just
the amount of emojis next to
so
your name
normal.
and my contact.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not expose my
but,
name.
But she's Squirtle in my contact list. But but I'm saying like what emojis are you just like? So like if I sent the
laughing face is very common. I feel like that's not flirting.
Right. But what about like the like the emoji that's like,
I don't know. I feel like that one's friendly too. Cause like when I like meet someone that I'm not really close with, instead of like sending like a smiley face, I'll send that emoji.
Okay, what about like a classic smiley, like ... smiley?
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh, see, that's kind of tough. Because like sometimes I use that as like when I write programs, I'll put like enjoy ... smiley like that. But also I'm doing it on my computer. So sometimes when I text, I kind of do that too. But like I'm saying like what would be like an emoji that's like definitely red, like definitely like the little smiley face with like the little hearts all over.
Yeah.
Huge red flag. Like anybody's, it doesn't matter what the message is. Like
that's a red flag.
If that pops up in there, there better be like a laughing face with like a star next to it, like sent immediately.
Or
after.
like if they're sending hearts, that's red flag.
Heart, any color hearts.
Yeah,
it
doesn't matter.
Hearts. Any color hearts. Yeah. I think that, but okay. And honestly, so this is something that we've talked about in the past too, is leaving comments on Instagram posts. Like I think I think this was really, really early into our relationship. I think someone commented something and I was just going through and I was just putting thank you with a red heart. And I was just putting like, cause that's what was.
Nope, I shut that down.
Yeah,
I said,
know
no,
you did.
you are not doing that. Sorry.
So like red heart was all that was in my recent. And so I was just being like, and I was just doing it to everyone. Thank you, heart, or whatever. And she lost her mind, not lost her mind, but she was frustrated for sure. And no, you lost your mind. Your Latina side came out.
I did, for sure.
Yeah, your Latina side came out. So that's what I'm saying.
I said, you ain't sending nobody red hearts except for me.
So.
Period.
I don't know if anyone's
you want to be
ever
friendly,
noticed.
you can send a smiley face.
No, so now when I say thank you, I just send the muscle emoji. but that's what I'm saying is like there's certain emojis that you're just like red flag.
Yeah.
That like if someone sends a certain emoji, it's like, man, there better be some good fucking explanation to this. So like for me, when you fucking lit up, I was like again shitting bricks. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think about it. This was like literally what had just kind of popped up. You know what I mean? So I think that that's something to kind of think about for sure. But so yeah, would that be like your cheating signs?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I explained mine. What are yours?
Okay, so for me, I feel like if their stories don't match up, right? So if they tell you like one thing and then through text, right? They text you whatever, and then like you meet up in person and then you ask them like, oh, how was your time with so and so? And then like, oh, good, like we did this, we did that, and then it like doesn't match up. I feel like that's like a red flag.
Now, how many times would something have to happen for you to be like, pull the trigger, this fucking
one.
Get the fuck out.
One and done.
So yeah, we were talking about this, like.
Yeah, like if he ever like tried anything or if he ever like messed up, I would pack my shit and leave.
Okay, now that's saying like cheating, right? But
yeah, let's
just put into the scenario, just like a random scenario, because we were talking about this with some friends of ours. Let's just say that I go out with, and this is why I don't really like go out, right? Because like, and I've just done this since the beginning. I don't ever want to put myself in a situation or something like that. But let's just say that like maybe the group of guys that I'm with is like not the greatest or whatever, but like maybe we don't know this, whatever. But I go out with like some friends or whatever, and I get maybe like shit-faced drunk, and I do something stupid like I like kiss someone random or something like that, or it's like something like that, and you find out or you see it or something like that. Is that still like gone?
Yeah.
Damn, that's cutthroat. See, and
I mean, I've gone drunk before, like, and never did anything with anyone.
See, I've never gotten shit-faced drunk to the point where, like, I'm like, oh my god, I want to make out with someone random.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. Like,
and I can't say
in
that
a relationship,
it would ever happen to me.
like, that happened to me when I was like single. But whenever I was in a relationship and I got like drunk, I only wanted that person I was with. I didn't want anyone else. So I feel like if you truly like love someone, then why, and you're drunk, why are you gonna want to kiss strangers?
Okay, now what if let's say you see it? Now let's just say what if I go up to the bar or something like that and I'm grabbing a drink and some girl comes over to me and like gets touchy with me or something, like touches me, and I'm just like, oh, like, you know, and maybe like I'm drunk, so I'm like, I'm not even like comprehending it because, you know, like I'm just spacey when I'm drunk. But let's just say someone like does that. Are you just like, are you gonna up and leave, or are you gonna see that as more of just like a like homegirl better back the fuck up?
No, I'm gonna sit back and be like, oh, let's see what he does. Let's see.
So let's just say that I just like ignore, or like I'm being friendly. I'm just like, oh, like I'm sorry, you know, like pushing it out of the way or whatever. But you're not seeing that. You're just seeing me. Let's just say you don't see me just immediately like get up and walk the fuck away.
No, all I'm saying is you better lay her out.
Lay out a bitch.
Yeah. I'm in a relationship.
But I'm saying, I think that there's a lot of guys that kind of do that. Like a girl will kind of go up to at the bar and they'll do this or that. Or like a girl will like go, you know.
Oh, that just reminded me. Okay, so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
But like, so like there was this thing on TikTok of like couples going around testing. So like if a girl comes up to you, what do you say? Do you say, sorry, I'm in a relationship? Or do you say, I'm in a relationship?
Oh, I know how you're wording this. Okay, here's the thing.
I feel like that's the same thing.
So here's the thing, because you're supposed to say I'm in a relationship, like back the fuck up, right? But you got to remember too, you know, it's not.
If you say I'm sorry, it's like, damn, I'm sorry, I'm taken, but I wish I wasn't, because then I would have gotten your number.
But that's not it either, because so like in customer service, right? When you don't do any fuck up, right? When you like say someone, but you're different, right? So I'm not asking. I'm saying for someone like me, right?
Okay.
I don't do anything wrong, and some Karen is still pissed off about like her meal or something like that. I'm still being like, I'm so sorry about your evening here, ma'am, or something like that. Even though like, and it's more of just like it's not like yeah, I'm not genuinely sorry. Like I could give a fuck about this, right? But it's still just like it's like a being nice thing. And we've talked about this. Like you've always told me like, you're too nice. Like you just gotta like, you know,
yeah.
Cause like someone could be like fucking rude as shit to me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'll get out of the way or something like that. And you're like, nah, get the fuck out of the way, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so you got to remember, this isn't to like justify.
Okay. So which one are you answering? Which one are you going to use?
If I'm drunk, I'd probably just be like, sorry, I have a girlfriend. But here's the thing.
Are you new here?
Here's the thing. I'm coming from the standpoint of just like, it's just something that comes out. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that, right? But
you better. I'll wake up in the morning. What do you say? I'm gonna embed it in
I'm
you.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. But do you get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get what you're
just
saying.
kind of like oh, sorry, like I was in the way, not like you were in the way. It's like, sorry, you were in the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. All I'm saying is everyone in the comment section is gonna eat you up. That's
all
I'm saying.
I know, but I'm saying you're different. You're extra feisty. Like when someone be testing you, you'd let a bitch know, right?
Yeah.
That's not me. I will, like, someone could very obviously do me wrong, and I will be like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Scenario,
like us in the club, you getting our drinks, I'm in the back dancing and bobbing, you know, enjoying my life. And then I can literally picture this, a girl like coming up on you, trying to kiss you, and I can literally just see you like trying to like push her away, but you're like, I don't want to like shove her. I don't want to like
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so in your mind, you're just like, nah, someone ever comes up to me, I'm gonna fucking lay them out, right? Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, sorry, like get out of the way type of thing. But and it's because like, I don't know, it's just like a nice, it's
you're
like
just so nice.
It's a nice thing. But it's not like I still want it. But it's coming from like a nice thing. So when you listen to those little things on TikTok that you're talking about, like you got to remember, like it's not always black and white like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, because again, I think that's so dumb. Now, if it's over text or if it's like a message or something, like I think situation, it just depends on the situation, right? Mm-hmm. So someone slides in your DMs and just being like, I have a boyfriend, right? That's different versus like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But even like to me, I wouldn't think anything different, right? So if you sent both those same messages, if you sent both those same messages to someone that DM'd you, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, I honestly, I would not fucking care. And to be honest,
I feel like the only time to care is if they don't even mention that they're in a relationship. Then that's when you should care.
That's the red flag. But but like the fine details of the wording, to be honest, that's some bullshit. Like, and I would lose my mind if you got mad at me over wording. How I worded something. Oh my God. I'd be like, seriously, babe? I'd be like, I bought you titties. You be living with me. We moved down here together. And you're mad that I didn't say, you're mad that I said sorry instead of back the fuck up. I'd lose my mind over that. But no, that's good. And so I guess moral of the story is for you, right? Your morals. It's like, know your worth. Like as soon as that shit happens.
I know what I'm worth. So I'm like,
any red flags? Bye.
Bye. See you later.
If I don't answer like Alyssa's question, like maybe like she's mad about something or something like that, she'll be like, fine, you want to talk to me? I'll go sleep on the couch. And I'm like, no, come back here. Like I'll talk to you.
I'm like, wake up.
But then when I do that shit to you, I did that one time. We were fighting about something and I was like, I'm going to sleep on the couch. She goes, I'm going to leave. And I was like, where are you going to go? And she's like, I'll go stay with my cousin. And I was like, it's 2 a.m. And she was like, that's fine. Like I'm gonna go home back to Mexico.
That's not what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah, you're laughing because you know that shit happened.
I'm laughing because you're like, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch. I said, fine, go sleep on the couch.
Yeah, you said go sleep on the couch. She goes, but if you sleep on that fucking couch tomorrow, I'm gone. I'm moving back home. And I was like,
so he's like, do I sleep on the couch? Or do I not sleep on the couch?
I wanted to sleep on the couch just to fucking spite you. But I didn't want to sleep on the couch because I was like, oh my God, this bitch actually going to leave me in the morning. What's up with it, fool? But, alrighty, guys. Well, That was a deep conversation.
That was.
But
I feel like these Alanis definitely got our wild side out.
Woo, they did. But yeah, guys, you guys' support on the podcast has been absolutely fucking incredible.
Yes,
we
thank you
appreciate
guys so
every single
much.
one of you guys.
Seriously.
Like the saves, the shares, the
Comments,
the likes on the YouTube, the comments on the YouTube helps just like increase our engagement to other people, and it helps us be able to like communicate more with you guys. And if there's something that you guys want to see, like let us know.
Yes,
like
let us know.
I think we want to talk more about like relationship based stuff, because like that's what I'm saying. People would be like, I'm trying to get like you, my boy, but I'm like, our relationship is not like a normal.
Yeah, our
like,
relationship is like
people are like, you do that? Like you guys do that? I'm like, yeah, is that weird?
Is that weird?
But well,
let
awesome,
us know what you
guys.
guys want to hear. Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate y'all, and stay tuned for the next one. We have guests coming on for our next podcast, so super excited about that.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Peace. And guys, I Knock a Power Drop coming March 26th. Season 10. Oh my God. Fire.
Ugh, I love everything.
Favorite
I'm obsessed.
drop so far?
Yeah.
Honestly. And some, I don't know if we can tell you guys this, but some upcoming collabs with some big brands and some famous people coming up. Code Swellmates, and I tried those subs the other day.
Yeah.
The pre and the pump, the Knock pre and the pump. Good Lord.
Was it good?
My titties look just about as big as yours did, baby. That's all I'm saying. Code Swellmates, baby.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all later.